Medicube appeared in 2016 and hasn't stopped since. Each year brought more buzz, more videos, more people swearing they'd found the perfect product. The brand moved out of the K-beauty niche and started competing with giants that had always dominated the market. But do these formulas really deserve all the hype? Or are you just looking at pretty packaging and promises repeated until they become a trend? So let's talk about 5 products from the brand to find out whether the formulas actually deliver what the marketing promises. And we'll start with the collagen jelly cream. That transparent gel cream that keeps showing up in texture videos. It promises strong hydration, firmness, and that glass skin glow K-beauty loves. You can find it for around $11, which is already surprising for such a viral product. When you look at this formula, you can tell it wasn't made to be simple. It was made to create a sensation. The base starts with water and several lightweight solvents such as propanediol, butylene glycol, and methylpropanediol. They help the gel glide easily, help the active spread, and give that cooling feel when you apply it to the face. The niacinamide appears fairly early. It's that well-known ingredient that helps with dark spots, controls oiliness a bit, and keeps the skin barrier more stable. Here it works as a basic pillar of the formula. Then come the humectants, trehalose, glucose, glycerin. These ingredients pull water to the surface of the skin and hold that hydration for longer. That's why the skin gets that slightly plush texture after application. The collagen part is more marketing story than a real promise of firmness. There's regular collagen, hydrolyzed collagen, and soluble collagen in very small amounts. All of this helps more with hydration and glow than with any structural change. It's more of a visual effect than a transformation. And the list of extracts is almost a buffet. Chlorella, white lily, plateau rose, garlic, oats, Brazil nut, broccoli, green tea seed, salmon roe, tomato, spinach, blueberry, grape, and the felinus mushroom. These extracts have mild antioxidant functions and, in some cases, calming effects. They make the product more interesting, but they don't support lifting or firmness claims. Here's where something truly important comes in. The hyaluronic acid used here, in the form hydroxypropyltrimonium hyaluronate. It holds water on the skin's surface and improves the feeling of softness. It's not that heavy film-forming hyaluronic acid. It's lighter and creates a natural glow. And along with it comes squalane. This ingredient is one of the most stable and safe moisturizers out there. It helps make the skin softer and gives a smooth feel without being oily. It's one of the ingredients that truly make a difference in the product's final texture. There's also adenosine, which helps a bit with fine lines, but the effect is mild. And proteoglycans and hydrolyzed elastin, which are added to reinforce the sensorial aspect and give a nourished skin vibe, without deep transformation. The rest of the formula is structure. Thickeners like carbomer and xanthan, stabilizers, pH regulators, and that fragrance many people don't even notice, but that can bother sensitive skin. In the end, even with this huge list, what truly delivers results is a very simple set: niacinamide, humectants, hyaluronic acid, squalane, and the gel texture. The rest creates atmosphere, sensation, and story. And when you look at the reviews, you can understand why it gets so much attention. Many people say their skin feels soft, reflecting light in a pretty and even way. It's that shiny texture that delivers an immediate effect. But there are also people who complain about stinging and a sticky feeling. This happens because this type of gel creates a denser layer that can bother sensitive or very oily skin. The tests the brand shows mention a small increase in elasticity within 24 hours. Nothing that transforms the skin, but enough to justify that livelier skin feeling many users report. For dry skin, it usually works better. For oily skin, the glow is nice, but the texture can be uncomfortable. Where it truly delivers is exactly what the visuals promise. It creates a smoother, shinier surface that gives the impression of healthier skin. It's more cosmetic effect than structural change, and that's not necessarily bad. It just needs to be seen for what it is. If you want to use it, it makes more sense to apply it at the end of the routine. A small amount spreads well when the skin is slightly damp. And many people combine this gel with the HR Booster Pro to try to get a stronger glow and that firmer skin feeling, because the device claims to improve absorption and make the skin look more plumped for a few minutes. That's where many people think the jelly cream got more powerful, but in reality, it's the combination of the two that creates that quick mirror effect. The triple collagen cream also gets added to this mix, but we'll leave that for later. Just before we wrap up, it's worth remembering the hydration and glow here are real, but the idea of deep firmness is more marketing than science. The next item, which is not a serum or a cream, but a gadget, the Medicube HR Booster Pro. Here the conversation changes a bit because we're talking about technology applied to the skin. It's basically a 6-in-1 facial massager that promises to speed up product absorption and deliver that glass skin look faster. The cool thing is that it comes in black or pink, and it usually shows up on Amazon for around $148 when it's on sale. Without the discount, I've seen it easily go over $200. And how does it work? It combines microcurrent, electroporation, EMS, sonic vibration, and LED, each mode with a different purpose: brightness, firmness, facial definition, and pore care. In other words, it's the kind of device that promises to make your routine feel more professional without relying on a clinic. A lot of people use it after applying skincare products because the booster, NC, and Derma Shot modes work better on damp skin or skin covered with product. And some people pair it with the triple collagen cream to make the skin feel more plump, but we're still going to talk more about that cream later, so hold on to that part. Now let's understand exactly what the HR Booster Pro really does and whether it delivers what it promises. Booster, the mode that promises to increase absorption. This mode uses electroporation type electrical pulses. In practice, the idea is to create, for a short period, greater permeability in the cell membrane so that some ingredients can more easily reach the upper layers of the skin. It works to a certain extent. Studies and aesthetic practices show that controlled pulses can increase the penetration of large molecules, but the effect is temporary and depends a lot on the product you use with it. If your cream is basically water, glycerin, and extracts, do not expect anything deep to happen. The booster is good for giving that push in the absorption of very liquid serums, and that is why many people notice an immediate glow. Just be careful with sensitivity. If your skin is already irritated, opening the barrier more through electroporation can make things worse. MC, microcurrent for volume and definition. Microcurrent tries to mimic the body's natural electrical currents to tone facial muscles. The most common result is a temporary firming and lifting effect due to muscle contraction and improved local circulation. It is not surgical lifting, it is not permanent, but for photos and for days when you want a more defined appearance, it delivers results. Users report a sensation of the skin feeling more held for a few hours with less apparent sagging. The risks appear when the intensity is too high or when there are neurological issues. Some people have felt strong tingling, pain, or even nerve irritation. If you have a history of nerve problems, it is best to avoid it. Derma Shot, EMS for muscles. This mode uses electrical stimulation to contract muscles, similar to physical therapy equipment. It can improve facial muscle tone with continuous use if used correctly. The difference from microcurrent is that here the sensation is more of contraction. Users who follow the guides and increase the time gradually report improved firmness and definition in the medium term. But there are serious reports of uncomfortable effects, even paresthesia. So start slowly, on a low level, and do not do the full treatment on areas where the skin is very thin. Airshot, cleansing, and pores. The Airshot mode promises to refine pores and remove dead skin cells with a combination of light suction, pulses, and vibration. In practice, it can help loosen superficial dirt and give an immediate feeling of cleanliness. Do not expect it to work like microneedling or professional extraction. Some users experienced mild peeling afterward, and others reported irritation when used on sensitive skin. If you have rosacea or very reactive skin, this mode can be a problem. LED and sonic vibration. The HR combines LEDs with different frequencies and sonic vibration. The red LED has reasonable evidence to help reduce inflammation and promote a feeling of firmness with prolonged use. The blue one can help with acne aspects, although the at-home effect is smaller than that of professional devices. Sonic vibration helps with product penetration and the sensory experience. Together they enhance the experience and in many reports increase the feeling of aesthetic treatment at home. But remember, at-home LED does not replace professional treatment when there are clinical conditions. With all these functions, will all this deliver real results? It depends on what you call results. For immediate appearance, yes. Glow, less visible pores for a few hours, a firmer feeling skin, and better serum absorption are effects that many people feel in the first sessions. For long-lasting structural changes, like deep wrinkle reduction or changes in facial anatomy, at-home evidence is weak. What works best is consistency, using it correctly, following indicated levels, and combining it with products that really help the skin, like hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and support ingredients. What users are saying in practice. There are very positive reports. People who saw improvement in texture, glow, and definition in weeks. Some use the AGR with Medicube's own PDRN line and swear that the combination works. There are also well-founded negative reports. Devices that stopped working, battery problems, sensors that burn out, and cases of serious nerve irritation. This shows that the device can deliver, but durability and safety vary a lot. Buying on impulse and expecting a miracle is a sure path to frustration. How to use it without messing up the skin. Start with the basics. Never use it on injured skin. Do not apply it to very thin areas like the eyelid. Start at the lowest level and increase if there is no discomfort. Follow the manual and the app videos because technique matters. Use appropriate products, water or conductive gels when indicated, and avoid products with ingredients that increase irritation if you have sensitive skin. If you notice persistent numbness, intense tingling, pain, or a strange sensation that does not go away, stop and look for a doctor. Cost, benefit, and durability. The price can be a bit high even on sale, around $148. Outside of promotions, going over $200 requires that you count on frequent use and on a device that lasts for years. Many reviews complain of failures within a few months. This weighs on the decision. If you are looking for an upgrade in your routine and are willing to accept the risk of defects, it may be worth it. If you want something with guaranteed long life, evaluate professional alternatives or devices with a better durability history. In general, the AGR Booster Pro can improve skin appearance in the short term mainly by increasing absorption, giving temporary firmness, and evening out texture. It works more as a finishing tool and enhancer than as a definitive solution. It has real risks for sensitive skin and durability issues that deserve attention. If you decide to test it, start slowly, use simple and good products, and observe how the skin reacts. After all that, it is worth looking at one of Medicube's most well-known products, which became very popular precisely because of the idea of waking up with firmer and more radiant skin. The Collagen Overnight Wrapping Mask is a thicker night gel that promises to create a hydrating film on the skin while you sleep. It has a few versions, but let us start with the most famous one, which is the one that truly went viral. This mask works as a sealant. The texture forms a flexible layer that prevents water loss during the night and keeps the active ingredients in constant contact with the skin. The formula brings together peptides that provide superficial support for firmness, plenty of hydration from multiple sources, and antioxidants that help soften a tired look. This combination is what makes the skin appear fuller and more radiant in the morning, and is also the main reason for the praise the product receives from users. The formula of this classic version of the Collagen Overnight Wrapping Mask is designed to hydrate continuously and create an immediate finish of a plumper-looking skin. It starts with a group of humectants and solvents that allow the mask to spread easily and keep the skin moist through the entire night. Glycerin, butylene glycol, glucose, and propanediol work to attract water and maintain this hydrated environment under the film that the product forms. Hyaluronic acid appears here as sodium hyaluronate, which is the form that best penetrates the surface. It works like a sponge that retains water around the cells and in the space between them, which gives temporary plumping and softens spine lines. In the context of this mask, hyaluronic acid has a double advantage. First, because under the occlusive film it stays in contact with the skin longer, so it holds more water than a product that evaporates quickly. Second, because the different forms of hyaluronic acid can act in distinct layers of the epidermis, improving both the immediate feel and the texture over some uses. Right after the hyaluronic acid comes niacinamide. This combination makes sense because while hyaluronic acid holds water and gives superficial volume, niacinamide helps regulate tone and texture. It reduces the appearance of dark spots over time, controls oiliness a bit, strengthens the barrier, and has a mild anti-inflammatory effect. In a mask that you use for several hours, niacinamide helps the skin wake up looking more even and less tired, especially if you use a moisturizer or serum underneath. Ceramides represented here by ceramide epi are essential. They work by filling the gaps between the cells of the stratum corneum, preventing water loss. In practical terms, while hyaluronic acid fills from the outside, ceramides help seal that game, making the effect more lasting and reducing redness or sensitivity that might appear if the barrier were compromised. Now about the collagen, which is what draws so much attention in the name. It is important to speak clearly. Topical collagen has large molecules. The full protein is too large to cross the skin barrier. Because of this, collagen itself does not rebuild the deep skin tissue when applied directly. What Medicube does is divide the story into two fronts in the formula. There is collagen extract and there is collagen in hydrolyzed forms, meaning smaller fragments. These hydrolyzed fragments are smaller and better absorbed, but even so they do not reach the deep dermis to build new fibers the way an injectable treatment would. In practice, collagen and its derivatives here work in two ways. They improve water retention, help with feel and radiance, and support the immediate sensation of fuller-looking skin. They are excellent sensory ingredients and contribute to the appearance of superficial firmness, not to a structural reconstruction of the tissue. The mask also uses agents that create the film itself. Polyvinyl alcohol and xanthan gum give that elastic texture and form the film you feel when it dries. This film is functional. It keeps the humectants close to the skin and prolongs the action time of the hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and ceramides. This is why the effect of waking up with different looking skin happens. You are not just applying actives, you are creating a temporary barrier that keeps everything active for hours. Among the supporting ingredients are caprylyl glycol, ethyl hexylglycerin, and hydrogenated lecithin, which improve feel and stability, and tocopherol, which adds a bit of antioxidant protection. Extracts like agave, chlorella, and Althea rosea appear as soothing and mild antioxidants, contributing to a rested look but without promising miracles. And ingredients like caprylic capric triglyceride and sodium stearoyl glutamate help with spreadability and a non-sticky finish. In practical use, this means the following for you. If your skin is dehydrated, this mask can transform the texture of the next morning. Lines appear smaller, pores less noticeable, and the tone seems more even. This comes from the combination of hyaluronic acid holding water, niacinamide stabilizing, and ceramides keeping that gain locked in. Collagen improves the feel and helps with radiance, but do not expect it to penetrate and rebuild like a medical procedure. The glow and firmness you see are real, but they are mostly superficial effects and dependent on water retention and the temporary barrier created by the product. Now about truly working. This mask does deliver the effect it promises for the next morning, but within the logic of what it is, a product that creates a film, holds water, and improves radiance in a temporary way. Most people who use it say exactly that. They wake up with more hydrated, smoother skin and with that glow of someone who slept well. Fine lines are less visible because the skin is fuller of water, and this is a consistent result in the reports. The most common compliment is the finish. Many people comment that the skin feels soft and has a firmer appearance to the touch, as if they had slept with a very powerful hydrating mask. The product also receives a lot of positive feedback from people with dull or dehydrated skin because the morning look is more even. And the combination of hyaluronic acid with niacinamide really helps with this. The skin wakes up less puffy, less tired, and with a calmer tone. But there are also points that always appear in negative reviews. Some people find the film uncomfortable, especially those with sensitive skin. In some cases, they report a bit of burning or itching when the film begins to dry. Another comment that appears frequently is that for oily skin it can leave the surface sticky or give a feeling of heaviness. And of course there are people who say the effect is very immediate, but does not last long after you wash your face. This makes sense because the result comes much more from concentrated hydration and the temporary barrier, not from a structural change in the skin. Regarding firmness, it is important to reinforce what people themselves notice. It is not a real lifting. What they perceive is an improvement in texture and a more rested appearance. For those looking for that effective, tighter-looking skin, the sensation appears, but it is subtle and comes from retained water, not from collagen entering the skin. Many reviews mention exactly this, that the skin looks visually nicer, but it is not a deep firmness treatment. The overall scenario is very clear. If your skin responds well to hydration, you will probably like this mask and will notice a difference already on the first use. If your skin is sensitive, or if you do not like that film sensation when the product dries, it may be uncomfortable. And if the expectation is true firmness rebuilding similar to the result of a professional collagen stimulator, then it does not match reality. Overall, reviews show that the mask delivers what it sets out to do: improve texture, make the glow look nicer, provide intense hydration, and give an immediate glow that really appears the next morning. Finally, a practical warning. Because it is a film that dries over the skin, this mask needs to be tested before regular use. Sensitive skin may react, and some people report acne or burning when the product traps dirt or comedogenic ingredients underneath. Do a patch test, apply a uniform layer with a silicone brush if possible, and follow the recommended usage time. This way you maximize the benefit of hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and ceramides, and reduce the risk of problems with the film or with excess collagen. I said we would talk about the other masks, but this video will be too long and those masks deserve a dedicated video. Despite how extensive the explanation became, the other variations still have ingredients like PDRN and retinol that would be nice to cover in another video. After getting through the masks, it makes sense to move on to the next logical step in the routine, the moisturizer that supports the skin between treatment days. Because a mask alone doesn't maintain firmness, doesn't lock in hydration throughout the week, and much less sustains results for brightening or renewal. And this is where the next product comes in, which is also one of Medicube's most commented on items. Now we finally arrive at the Medicube Triple Collagen Cream, an anti-aging moisturizer that appears on Amazon for about $15 in the 50 milliliters jar. It is marketed as a cream for deep hydration, barrier strengthening, elasticity improvement, and wrinkle care, with the promise of visible results in 2 weeks and a combo of collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, nourishing oils, and a dozen botanical extracts. It is a product quite different from what we have analyzed so far for two main reasons. First, because it is not an immediate effect cosmetic like the peel-off masks. It is part of the daily routine, and this completely changes the formulation strategy. Second, because the formula is much longer and much more complex. Here we are not dealing with a polymer base and a few high-impact actives, but rather with a layered construction, emollients, occlusives, peptides, fermented extracts, barrier components, fragrance, and a mixture of collagens with distinct functions. So, let's break down this composition with calmness and structure, ingredient by ingredient. Afterwards, we will analyze whether it truly makes sense, if it works according to reports, and where the real risks lie. Especially for those with sensitive or acne-prone skin, since the reviews show an enormous contrast between best cream of my life and worst experience I've ever had. The triple collagen cream starts with a moisturizing and nourishing base. Water, glycerin, and dipropylene glycol work together as a trio that pulls moisture into the skin and holds that water there for longer. It's the beginning of everything. But right after that, the ingredients that give real body to the cream enter. Cetyl alcohol, glyceryl stearate, cetyl glucoside. These three create the creamy structure, make the product thicker and more stable, and help form that rich cream feeling that doesn't run. The cream also uses a mixture of light silicones like cyclopentasiloxane and cyclohexyloxane. They make the product glide, are practically imperceptible, and prevent the skin from feeling sticky. This helps a lot because the cream is genuinely dense, so these silicones prevent it from feeling too heavy to the touch. The deeper nourishment part begins with the oils. Caprylic triglyceride, sunflower seed oil, argan oil, squalane, and shea butter. Each works at a different level. The triglyceride provides immediate emollients, the sunflower strengthens the barrier, the argan softens texture, the squalane mimics the skin's natural sebum, and the shea butter creates a layer that holds everything inside. It is this combination that gives the feeling of more plumped skin right after application. Next comes a block of ingredients that are essential when the topic is the skin barrier: ceramide, ethy, and cholesterol. They work together because the skin barrier is basically ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids. When you apply ceramides without cholesterol, the skin doesn't utilize them properly. Here they're balanced. This helps reduce water loss and makes the skin more resistant throughout the day. This is a very important point because the cream is not just anti-aging. It also aims to stabilize skin that is chronically irritated, dry, or reactive. The cream also includes folic acid. Many people don't notice this ingredient, but it functions as a metabolic cofactor for cell renewal. It helps the skin recover faster from mild damage, especially when irritation is present. It is not a strong ingredient like retinol, but it helps with routine consistency. Now we enter the heart of the botanical actives. It's a massive list. Centella asiatica, ginseng berry, evening primrose, Ulmus davidiana, Puraria lobata, Cryptomeria japonica, neem, lotus flower, cinnamon bark, Pinus palustris, horse chestnut, and of course olive leaf extract, which the brand uses extensively in marketing. Centella helps with irritation and redness. Ginseng works with microcirculation and radiance. Evening primrose is calming. The olive leaf is antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. It reduces oxidative stress and helps the skin cope better with daily aggressions. The sum of these extracts does not profoundly transform the skin, but it makes the cream more tolerable and more stable for daily users. There are also ferments like Saccharomyces filtrate and Pseudoeltromonas ferment extract. Ferments are interesting because they bring amino acids, enzymes, and ready-to-use nutrients to the skin. They help with hydration, texture, and luminosity. Nothing miraculous, but always welcome. Niacinamide appears at a strategic point in the formula. It balances everything because it helps lighten mild spots, reinforces the barrier, and makes the skin's glow more uniform. Its presence here makes perfect sense because it is a dense and nourishing cream. Niacinamide helps control the excess oiliness that might arise with so many rich ingredients. The collagen and peptide part is much more complex than it seems. There is desamidocollagen, hydrolyzed elastin, and various peptides like palmitoyl tripeptide 5 and palmitoyl pentapeptide 4. Whole collagen does not penetrate, it stays on the surface and helps visibly smooth. The hydrolyzed versions penetrate only slightly deeper but are still superficial. The peptides, however, dialogue with the skin. They help with slight firmness and support with continuous use. Nothing comparable to real retinol, but they still make a difference in overall texture. There is also a huge block of advanced hydration. Sodium hyaluronate, beta-glucan, betaine, biosaccharide gum-1, trehalose, raffinose. These are molecules that pull water into the skin and hold that water there without evaporating quickly. This is what gives the elastic and lively skin effect that many people describe in reviews. There is vitamin C in two versions, ascorbyl glucoside and ethylated C. These are more stable versions. They work slowly and gently, providing continuous brightness without the risk of intense irritation. Their presence aligns well with the cream's proposal, which is gradual and safe treatment for daily use. Olenolic acid and zinc PCA appear together and help control oiliness. This balances the formula because, with so many oils and nourishing ingredients, without this control, the cream would be impossible for combination skin. And then comes an important detail. Folic acid, panthenol, and bisabolol form a calming trio. They make the cream more tolerable even though it is dense. They reduce irritation and help maintain routine stability for those with more sensitive skin. The final structure of the cream is also full of stabilizers like polyquaternium 51, isononyl isononanoate, polyglycerol esters, and emulsifiers that keep everything homogeneous. They are not actives, but they are essential for this specific texture. The final result is a complex hydration that goes far beyond simple collagen, delivering a robust barrier repair for those seeking long-term stability. When we analyze the formula, we realize there is a real synergy between the active ingredients, but do not expect a miracle from this cream. This same richness of ingredients brings a crucial point of attention. The mixture of alcohol, fragrance, and heavy oils creates a density that can suffocate acne-prone skin after a few weeks of continuous use. It's not that the product is bad, it's that fragile barriers react in opposite ways to this load of actives. This explains exactly the pattern we see in user reports. While people with mature and dry skin feel they have found the solution to their discomfort, those with sensitivity or oiliness frequently report burning and deep pimples. The product only works when it finds the correct skin condition, as it fulfills a specific need for lipid replacement that not everyone has. Because it is a formula that competes with other actives, a patch test on a small area is indispensable before applying it to the entire face. If your skin is already irritated or has active acne, avoid use and start by incorporating it into your routine only twice a week to monitor the reaction. For those who made it this far, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know the video was a bit long, but the intention was to bring as many details as possible about this product to help you better decide which product to buy. Also, to understand if Korean products are just pretty on TikTok and Instagram, or if they really deliver something. And you can't do that superficially. In the middle of this avalanche of content that exists today, I know it's hard to separate real knowledge from pure blogging. So this video is dedicated to you who chose not only to learn more about the product, but to understand how the active ingredients work on your skin. That makes a difference. All the products that appeared in the video will be in the description, with an Amazon link and a friendlier price. Thank you very much for watching calmly, for staying until the end, and for taking care of your skin in a more conscious way. See you in the next video. Thank you for staying until the end. I know it was a deep dive, but understanding the active ingredients is the only way to separate real results from the TikTok aesthetic. In a sea of content, I truly appreciate you choosing to learn the science behind the product rather than just following the hype. All the links are in the description. Thanks for making conscious choices for your skin, and see you in the next video.